Peak is a game about climbing a mountain with or without your friends, and your goal is to escape the island before a cold fog freezes you to death. The game is all about stamina management, as if your max stamina reaches 0, you pass out, and then you eventually die. After playing through the game once with my friends, I decided I wanted to 100% it and make a video on it, that being this video. I'll go over every time I got an achievement, as well as some funny or tense moments that occurred while going for this 100%, but to start us off, let's take it back to the beginning, our first attempted expedition.
Alright, hold up. I need motivation.
I'm very poisoned.
The first goal and set of achievements that we have to start with are the 5 achievements, which the game refers to as badges, that are related to scaling different parts of the mountain. Everything before this first successful expedition, and including said successful expedition, was before I had decided to start the 100%, so you won't be seeing much real-time reaction out of getting an achievement. Before we get directly into our first expedition, a little background to the game. You play as a kid scout, taking a flight to somewhere, but eventually the plane crashes on an island, and as I said before, now you have to climb up to the top and escape.
Oh, I'm tickling your armpits, bro. I'm tickling your armpits. I'm tickling
your eyeballs.
Oh, yeah.
Tickle his armpits, dude.
Stop! Stop it! No!
To start our first ever expedition, here's a short little get-to-know-me circle me and my friends did to get ourselves in the mood of being a bunch of kid scouts.
So, hi, my name is Toastin'Time. I have a bit of experience climbing. I've played Peaks of Yore, and I have an experience with climbing games. I climbed the second tallest mountain in the game, so like I'm pretty used to climbing games. So I think this is gonna go well. Hi.
I'm Bug. I'm afraid of heights.
Soldier guy.
I'm me. I
Soldier
like
boy.
eating, and Big Boss, and I played this game before. Your turn, Blue.
Hello.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm Yoda.
Uh-huh. We're a little close.
You'll see my friends pop up throughout this first section, as well as some of the later sections where multiple players are required for multiple achievements. Our first achievement pops up in our first run of the game, for climbing the first section, titled The Shore.
Why do you have a
Take my hand!
We definitely had some struggles climbing for the first time.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Fuck. Ah! Ow!
Or maybe many struggles.
Just touch it. Ah! Ah! Give me the coconut. Ow!
But after some trial and error, and on our very first expedition, we managed to make it to the top of the shore. This earns us our first achievement, the Beachcomber badge. After this badge, however, it would be a little while before we got another one. Why, you're probably thinking? Well, we didn't make too much more progress on this first expedition before succumbing to the fog mentioned earlier. And on our next attempt, we pretty much made it to the exact same spot as before, and we died again. Here's a little compilation of the best moments from the rest of these failed expeditions.
No,
Yeah,
please!
I like the way. I love the way you slide down that pillar. God damn.
Wait, get in front of me. Catch it!
Hey man, what's up?
Bro, you didn't catch it!
Damn.
Alright, you
fuck.
guys ready for something fucking sick?
What are you doing? Is it... Oh shit. Hold up. I wanna try that. Fuck it. Ah! Ah! Oh, thank you.
Alright.
Thank you. That was tasty.
That was inside of me. That apple was inside of me.
What?
Wait,
Oh.
Tom, you picked a normal bar.
You fuck! You fuck! No! No!
Here. Bud.
Hi guys. No!
Oh. Yeah.
I'm freezing. I'm gonna jump off. I'm back. Are you cursed or something? What is that on your? Oh shit!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
Look at her health bar. What?
You're getting dizzy. You're getting dizzy.
That doesn't look alive to me. Yo ass is dead. Yo bitch ass died.
However, after that, we started our first successful expedition.
What if I make? Hang on.
Lollipop.
I'm gonna burn the marshmallow.
No, no.
What if I cook it again?
Yoda, do you still have the apple? I'm gonna cook
Incinerated
No!
marshmallow. Yo, who wants the incinerated marshmallow?
You fed it to me.
I was trying to feed it to her, man. You got out of the way.
You look weird.
Fuck you. Alright, you know what? Never mind. I'm not helping you.
No, wait, no.
Crack.
What the fuck?
Climbing up the tropics, the game's second section, we had our fair share of struggles, but we knew a little bit more than we previously did. Unlike our previous attempts, this time, we managed to make it further than ever before, making it to the top of the tropics and earning us our second badge of the game, titled the Trailblazer Badge. This previous section wasn't too terrible once we had gotten used to the game. There's vines to climb on and dangerous plants to avoid. There's also occasionally rain that I think makes it harder to climb, but nothing too notable about this area. Moving right along, we weren't even halfway done with our first climb, as up next was the Alpine. Now, while the shore was very basic to get players used to the game, and the tropics really only had vines, dangerous plants, and rain, the Alpine introduces us to blizzards, as this is the game's snow section essentially. Blizzards will periodically pop up every now and then, and if you're not covered up, or not using a heat pack, your character will start to freeze, limiting your stamina bar. A friendly reminder that if your max stamina reaches 0, you die. Well, you pass out first, and then you die, but basically the same thing. The Alpine has to be one of, if not my favorite section in the game, but that could just be because I like climbing snowy mountains in games. I'm looking at you, Peaks of Yore. Funnily enough, this section also has more than just one achievement that we got this time. Our first non-milestone badge is the Foraging Badge, for eating 5 different berries in a single expedition.
Yeah, I see that. It's winter berries, they're good.
It was pretty easy. I mean, constantly being force-fed different berries by my friends, whether they're poisonous or not, made this achievement really easy to get. Shortly after that, we also get the First Aid Badge for healing our friends for 100 HP in a single expedition.
Do you need bandages?
That tiny drop took half of my health. What the fuck?
Do you need bandages?
I would like some of these.
I got you, bro. Alright.
Again, not too hard, as having my friends constantly jumping off of ledges, damaging themselves, and then having to get healed by me made this really easy to get. Not too much later after getting that one too, we also get the Esoterica Badge for obtaining a mystical item.
I got a scout effigy.
Mystical items are essentially just rare items that can do some cool things, like heal you very well or revive a teammate at will. Moving along again, we get our final badge just before peaking the Alpine. This badge being the Happy Camper Badge for getting 5 morale boosts from campfires.
Captain made an oopsie and we wound up crashing on this mysterious island. Thanks for William.
At the top of every section, there's a little campfire that you and your friends can regroup at and roast some marshmallows. Lighting these fires gives you a little extra stamina bar that starts to drain after your main bar is depleted, but this extra bar can only be recovered using specific items. Now, finally, we earn our Alpinist Badge, however you say it, for making it to the top of the Alpine.
Where did my thing go?
Up next was the Caldera, the game's lava section, really. The lava in this section would rise and fall periodically, and while the lava wasn't technically lethal, it might as well be with how much damage you take from it. Trust me, I would know from first-hand experience.
Guys, I might be dead. Guys! Guys, I'm dead.
Oh my god.
Egg!
There's also tons of fire that needs to be avoided, and chains that you can climb across. To be honest, I didn't really care too much about this section. It's just really, really flat, and it feels less like climbing and scaling, and more like just jumping across gaps. So I guess it's a good thing it's really fucking short. Making it to the next campfire, the game gives you plenty of gear to get you ready for the final climb, inside the volcano, and into the kiln. Getting to the inside of the kiln, we get our second to last milestone badge called the Volcanology Badge for making it past the caldera.
Go!
The
The kiln.
I'm awake.
Inside the kiln, it is an incredibly vertical climb, essentially circling around the inside of the volcano to move upwards. Hot rocks are still present, but the design this time around makes this area far more enjoyable than the last. While the Alpine is still my favorite section just because I fucking love climbing a giant snowy mountain, The kiln has got to be a close second. This area is so tight and cramped, you and your teammates can barely fit on the same ledge. It's incredibly fun to climb and figure out what path to take, because at this point, your stamina bar is probably looking something like this, so not every path is going to be viable to take. You have to work around your ever-depleting stamina, and it's a race against time to get to the top at this point. Making it outside, at the very top of the kiln, however, we finally reach it. The peak! Of course, not before doing a little photo shoot first.
I'm gonna take the screenshot with you. Yeah, hold on. Get in front of me, get in front of me.
Wait.
Oh, wait, I can't crouch. Perfect. Beautiful.
Work it, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Work it.
No, no, no.
Shake, shake that money maker.
For making it to the top, we get our last milestone badge, the Peak Badge.
Oh, there's so much food.
The peak. Day 11. It took us 2 days to climb the volcano. Signal the flare! What? Signal the chopper! We did it! I peaked.
I'm angry.
I peaked. Look how many times. I think you died on every single one. I think you died on every single one. Halo didn't die once. We did it. We did it.
Now, unfortunately for me, while we were in the caldera, as I showed, I managed to slip up and get knocked unconscious just once throughout our whole expedition. This sucks because one badge requires me to climb the entire mountain without going unconscious once. However, there's also a badge for scaling the mountain solo, so we'll get that once we claim that badge as well. In fact, let's just go do that right now. If there's one thing I'm pretty used to, it's playing games that are generally intended as a multiplayer experience all by myself, so I was actually really excited to start this next section completely solo. Going into my first solo expedition, I had a pretty long list of badges that I wanted to go for first. To go over them real quick, the Plunderer badge was for looting 15 luggages in one expedition. The Arborist badge was for climbing to the top of a very big tree located in the tropics. The Endurance badge was for climbing 50 meters up without touching the ground. The Survivalist badge was for peeking without getting knocked unconscious once. The Bing Bong badge was for bringing Bing Bong, this little dude, to the top of the peak. The Serenading badge was for playing the bugle for a group of capybaras in the Alpine. The Lone Wolf badge was for escaping completely solo. The Balloon badge was for peeking without taking any fall damage. And lastly, the Mycology badge was for eating 4 different non-toxic mushrooms during one expedition. Also, while not listed, I had the Toxicology badge in the back of my head for curing 200 points of poison with items. Well, I knew that I most likely wasn't going to be able to get all of them in one go. These were the ones that I wanted to go for first. Although I had told myself that I wouldn't worry too much about the Balloon badge, the badge earned for not taking any fall damage in an expedition, I did end up resetting my first run because of it.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I said I know I said I wouldn't reset, but...
The strategy for now was to look all around for mushrooms for the Mycology badge, which I had a reference for to figure out which ones were non-toxic, and to bring Bing Bong and the Bugle with me, and loot all the luggage I found for the Plunderer badge. After my first reset, I got to work on clearing most of these badges. Now, before we go any further, I have something a little secret to share with you guys. If you don't already know, every real-life day that passes, at a specific point in the day, I'm not entirely sure at what point, the mountain itself is actually generated differently, meaning that if I played one day, I would climb a specific mountain, then if I play the next day, I'll be climbing a completely different mountain. It's not too important, all things considered, but it can make a few badges difficult to get, since certain things don't have set spawn locations, like the capybaras for the Serenading achievement. The first badge we got on this expedition was the Cooking badge, for cooking 20 meals at campfires. Simple enough, really. It was pretty easy, since this one can be done across multiple expeditions, unlike some other badges. Once we got into the tropics, I knocked out a few more badges pretty quickly. And up next, we had that Toxicology badge that I had mentioned earlier.
Okay, I got it.
It was really just a matter of purposely getting poisoned whenever I had an antidote or first aid kit on me, and then just doing that over and over until I got the achievement. Very easy, but most normal players would just wait out the poison instead, hence the achievement's rather low unlock rate. Our next badge is that Plunderer badge that I had also mentioned earlier. It was really easy to get, and there's not much more to say about it. Just open up tons of luggage.
There we go.
Now our last badge for a little while was the Arborist badge, the one you get for climbing on top of a big tree.
Yeah, let's go.
Really simple, you just have to look out for a specific kind of tree in the tropics, then climb to the top of it. Really easy. After finishing up the tropics, it was time for the best section in the game! I mean, it was time for the Alpine. Now if you remember, I've looked all over this area for a little hot spring with a couple of capybaras in it, just so I can play the bugle for them and get the serenading badge. Now I'd love to say how quickly and easily I found them, or even just that it was a struggle at first, but I found them eventually. Except even after climbing left and right while climbing up so I could check almost every area, I still didn't manage to find them. I spent a fair amount of time here too, so it's really unfortunate we didn't even get a single badge here to compensate for it. And I also carried the bugle all the way up here for no real reason.
I don't need the bugle anymore.
Nevertheless, it was on to the worst section in the game. I mean, the Caldera. To be honest, there's literally nothing interesting that happened here. I mean, at the end, I got the Pandora's Lunchbox item, which can give you either random good or bad status effects. Of course, with my luck, all it really ended up doing is taking away most of my extra stamina.
Pandora's Lunchbox. I have a cure all. Go. Ah! Pandora's Lunchbox. Go! My extra stamina! Go! That was not worth it.
Other than that, the Caldera was just really boring. So we're moving on to the kiln. Now, maybe it was because I didn't have friends to carry extra loot, or maybe just the terrain was tougher this time around, but my time in the kiln here was really touch and go. There were plenty of moments where I thought it was completely over, but through perseverance, I kept on climbing. While doing so, I managed to finally snag another badge, albeit an easy one, that being the high altitude badge for climbing a total of 5,000 meters.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Again, a really easy badge to get while just playing the game and going for the 100%. Struggling through the rest of the kiln, we finally managed to make it to the top again, finishing our solo expedition.
Hold Bing Bong up to the sun. That's a beautiful screenshot.
Flying away in the helicopter, our struggles are rewarded with 3 achievements at once. I could practically feel the dopamine rushing to my brain as I watched the Lone Wolf, Survivalist, and Bing Bong badge all pop up at the same time.
Let's go! Let's go, Bing Bong! Just me and Bing Bong. I don't even get like Bing Bong in the seat next to me or something. That's messed up, bro.
It felt real nice finishing this expedition, but my job was far from done yet. We're only a little past the halfway point in terms of the 100% here, but we've only gotten mostly easy badges to get. Now, real quick, just to get this out of the way, while I was recording some background footage for these solo sections so I could edit this faster, I accidentally got 2 more achievements. So to give you guys a little more content, here's a little compilation and edit of the climb until we get to our first achievement in the kiln. While climbing in the kiln, I unintentionally got the endurance badge for climbing up 50 meters at once without touching the ground. Oh, and I did say it was for background footage, so just ignore the VOD that I was watching in the background, please.
Disasters of Turkey, okay? I hate this. Okay, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's a bunch of trees. And just go. Just go. Okay, now it's time to stop.
Oops. I didn't mean to get that.
After that, I less unintentionally and more so accidentally got the balloon badge. But at least I was prepared to earn that, so you guys get to watch this one without background noise. Despite being a rather daunting badge, it wasn't that bad to earn. It just required some careful routing, patience, and playing it safe. After finishing up that run, I took a break by continuing to make this video. Then I came back a couple days later to get back on the grind. Just like my first solo expedition, I created a list of badges I wanted to go for, since it seemed to really help keep everything organized last time. I even joined the official Peak Discord server so I could get some insider information on the location of the capybaras for the day. Before we skip straight to the Alpine for that, it's also important to note that I was creating a route that allowed me to loot as much as possible so I could get tons of rope for the knot tying badge. And I was also routing a way where I could get a coconut, honeycomb, yellow winterberry, and an egg for the gourmand badge. The route, for what it was rather efficient, considering all the looting that had to be done. I was also looking out for any mushroom spawns so I could again go for the mycology badge, though I'm pretty sure those spawns are randomized every time anyways. Once we make it to the Alpine, I head towards the middle right bottom of the mountain, as apparently that's around where the capybaras were. Turns out, it was dead on, and they were right at the base of the mountain. As it also turns out, it looks like they're the only source of yellow winterberries, so it looks like I'm in luck. I whip out my bugle from my backpack, play it for these adorable little guys, and we get the animal serenading badge for doing so.
Yay! Let's go.
And shortly after that, we get the bouldering badge as well for placing 10 pitons.
And there we go. Place 10 pitons.
The hot spring with the capybaras also warmed me up, so I would sometimes take a pit stop in my next couple of playthroughs to chill with them. Now I do say next couple of playthroughs because unfortunately, this run wasn't said to be alive much longer.
What the fuck? Where was that?
And even more unfortunately, the next run was doomed to a similar fate.
I don't want to use the energy drink just yet. Where?
Now, what particularly pissed me off about these deaths are that they were just complete bullshit. If you can't tell what happened, it seems to me that on this map, there were geysers stuck inside the wall, and they would just go off while I'm climbing, sending me straight to my doom. So unless I'm just blind and the geysers were like below me or something, I'm calling straight horseshit. I know it doesn't seem like that bad of a death, but at this point, I was really trying to get this video done. These deaths may not seem like much of a loss since I can just edit them out now and it's just 10 seconds for you, but these failed attempts could be upwards of a 45-minute time loss for me, losing me precious time in my already short time span where I can produce these videos. I was enraged enough to lower the difficulty all the way down to Tenderfoot, the game's easiest difficulty, where there's no time limit, stamina drains slower while climbing, and hunger also drains slower. Now, if you want to call me out in the comments, go ahead, but at least first try to get all achievements without doing a single one on Tenderfoot, especially these collectathon-esque achievements like the Gourmand badge. Anyways, it's time to slow it down a little bit, since this expedition actually resulted in quite a few badges. To start off, while we didn't earn anything in the shore, we actually managed to find a lot of good mushrooms for the mycology badge, setting us on course to get it this run.
There we go. This is what I was missing last time. Where were you guys? It's the X's that are good. It's the spots on top that aren't. Oh, they're bad, I think. No, they're good. They're good. Let's go. I'll go ahead and eat the chubby mushroom.
After getting into the tropics and a little more searching, we actually find the last mushroom we need for the mycology badge really quickly.
Oh my god. Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. Yes!
Now, during this run, I was also obviously going for the Gourmand badge as mentioned earlier. So I had already found a coconut, since they're really easy to find, and I knew where to find a beehive and a yellow winterberry, so after climbing up to the caldera, I just had to find an egg. With how flat the caldera is, it wasn't too difficult finding one, but I was really desperate to get this achievement. If I hadn't gotten it that night, I'd have to create a whole different route because if it's a different mountain, I can't follow the same route. And I did not feel like doing that. In order to make sure I got this badge, as soon as I found an egg, I immediately used the heat in the caldera to cook it and eat it instantly, earning me the...
What? Do I have to...
Okay, well it turns out I have to escape now after having cooked and eaten all the required foods, so the pressure was on. Making my way into the kiln, I was extra cautious not to slip up and lose this run. It was all or nothing here, and if I died, I was going to have a complete breakdown. So, of course my PC decides to break the fuck down here. Yeah, I had to spend like 15 minutes fixing some things because my recording was just bugging out, but thankfully I didn't lose the run or any footage, so the climb was back on. While I was finishing my climb, I actually did manage to get the knot tying badge for placing 100 meters of rope during this expedition.
Hey, dude! Oh my god, I would have been so mad if I had known I was that close and then like my fucking shit crashed.
I didn't bother making many comments on it because it was literally just open all luggage and place any rope instantly, so really not that interesting. Making it to the peak once more, we escape with the requirements of the Gourmand badge being fulfilled, finally earning us this badge after hours of attempts.
Hallelujah.
Now, there's only 8 achievements left, so we're moving on from miscellaneous badges and on to peaking related badges, as I'll call them. Now, what I mean by peaking related badges is mostly just the achievements that are reach the peak with a certain condition fulfilled, similar to the Gourmand badge. Our first badge in this category was the Speed Climber badge, for climbing the mountain in under an hour. Now, despite my fatigue from spending hours on this mountain already, I decided to go straight from the Gourmand badge to this one, because of how much knowledge I'd accumulated about this mountain. And I'd say it was worth it, because this achievement was quite the cakewalk. There really isn't a whole lot to say here, as I already had the route from the previous run, so I'll just do a quick compilation of the climb here. Peaking again, we get the badge, and we move along.
Let's go! You're a little over 18 minutes to spare.
Our next peaking related badge was the Leave No Trace badge for peaking the mountain without placing anything on it. This just means I can't use rope, which is typically not that good in solo anyways, rope launchers, anti-rope launchers, pitons, and other things like that. The biggest loss here was the inability to use chain launchers, arguably the best item in the game since they just let you go up, down, left, right, across huge gaps, etc. Now I also didn't use shelf fungus here, as I thought that would count and make me lose the achievement, but looking at my guide, it turns out I could have used them. I even found a magic bean, a fairly rare item in the game, but didn't use it for fear of ruining the achievement. Oh well, the climb itself wasn't actually that bad, since I still had extra stamina and energy drinks / lollipops, so I still got the badge first try. Overall, it wasn't really all that bad. I even managed to finish in under an hour.
You know.
And in under an hour too, look at that.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention we're back on default difficulty now. But anyways, the next badge was very similar to our last, as the Naturalist badge requires us to peak without eating any packaged food. This means I can't eat granola bars, trail mix, scout cookies, lollipops, energy drinks, sports drinks, and airline food. The biggest hit here was the lack of lollipops and energy drinks, also arguably the best items in the game with the chain launcher, with their ability to enable climbing up massive walls in one go. The marshmallows around the campfires are still fair game though, so not too terrible. My biggest worry starting out was getting a decent extra stamina bar built up, since most natural foods either just get rid of hunger, or they end up poisoning you and getting rid of hunger. There's a couple that give extra stamina, but they're pretty rare to find. Most of my extra stams had to come from cooking food, which in most cases wasn't a whole lot, but I managed to make it up the mountain just fine until the kiln. Nothing really too much of note till then. Now the biggest issue with the kiln in this run was the fact that no natural foods spawn in there, so I was left with a single cooked blueberry nana. At least I had plenty of actual equipment to get me through, but my scout was really hungry by the end of this expedition.
Let's go! Also under an hour, by the way.
We still managed to make it up to the top though, and in under an hour again. So we move along to our final 5 achievements. Now we finally move on to our last multiplayer achievements. I didn't manage to get the crew from earlier back, but I did get a good pal of mine to hop on and help me out with these last few. During these multiplayer expeditions, The main goal was to get the participation badge for having somebody escape the island without me, and the clutch badge for reviving 3 scouts in one expedition. Normally, the clutch badge isn't too hard to get. You just have your 3 friends jump off at the top, then you revive them, and then you get the achievement. But I only had my 1 friend with me this time. This meant I had to have him jump off every single time we made it to his scout statue, and then revive only him 3 times over. The first badge we actually got, however, was the Emergency Preparedness Badge for healing an unconscious friend and saving them from death with an item. This one wasn't bad at all, since I just had my friend take some fall damage and then get poisoned so I could heal him up real quick. Not bad at all.
Breathe, I will force feed you all the medicinal roots. Yeah, I got it! I got it! Oh god.
This expedition wasn't long for this world, however, due to a slow and painful death that was edging us for way too long. The next expedition didn't have much in store either, as we died in the tropics again, this time due to a misjump and misjudged Divine jump.
See,
Oh, I didn't jump! Where are you going after that? You just, yeah, I thought. Oh! Go your own way!
Now, this next run was the run, though. Except, boy, was it fucking grueling. This run ended up being longer than my first successful expedition, but it was well worth it. Things were going great. My friend kept dying so I could regiment the scout statues, and once we got to the Alpine, I had a slight scare thinking it had to be 3 different teammates resurrected in one expedition, as I had used the scout effigy to revive him once.
Okay, I got you, bro. Welcome back! After being dead. Oh, that didn't count, I just realized. It didn't count. What the fuck? I guess that's to be 3 different ones? What the fuck?
It turns out, though, all I had to do was arrive at the actual scout statue and not the effigy, and we managed to get the clutch badge.
So, go! Die! Die, my youngling! Die!
Anakin Skywalker. The fog is coming.
The fog is coming!
It's coming.
I got it! Let's go!
Hey, do I get it too?
No.
Now, normally I'd skip through the caldera, maybe talk a little about the kiln, and then we'd move on. And while yes, I'm skipping through the caldera, there's one specific section right before the end of the kiln that I have to mention. Now, friendly reminder that my main objective now was to get my friend to the top for the participation badge. To set the scene, we were on the last difficult climb. I had managed to just barely make it, but my friend's stamina wasn't looking as good as mine. We had some equipment left, but it was all just lollipops really. I'll just play bits and pieces of the rest of this section to let the tension build up.
The lollipop should have dealt with some of your hunger, right?
Yeah, it did some of it.
Alright. I'm reaching for you as like far as I can. No. You good?
Yeah,
Okay. You have bandages, right?
yeah.
Take this. Take this. Take that. Don't use it yet. Don't use it yet. You're gonna have to climb in an awkward way, okay? I'll be here to grab you if I can. Don't forget you can use lunge still. Oh my god. Okay, okay. Just stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there. You should be. How we looking?
Not good.
Oh my god.
I'm back here.
It's here for you. It's here for you. Okay, I'm just gonna hold. I'm just gonna hold on. I'm just gonna hold on. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
I gotta wait it out.
Yeah, wait it out, bro. Wait it out. Oh, we have the Bugle of Friendship. I forgot.
Thankfully, we managed to make it up despite these difficulties. I used my extra rare cursed skull to die right at the top while my friend finally managed to escape alive, earning us the participation badge.
Let's go. I got the badge. I got the achievement. Let's go, dude.
The last multiplayer badge I had to get was the mentorship badge for having a quote-unquote one-on-one with the Scoutmaster. I'll just let the clip speak for itself.
Oh, there we go. There he is. Hey, bud. Whee! Woo! I'm gonna do with my coconut, bitch. It worked!
Basically, if you don't already know, if you get too far from your teammates, or if you play the Scoutmaster's bugle, the Scoutmaster will spawn and hunt you down until you're knocked out. This was really easy to get, as I just had my friend set at the beginning while I climbed to the top of the shore to get the Scoutmaster to spawn. Now, speaking of the Scoutmaster, my last achievement is the Bookworm badge for reading all of the Scoutmaster's journal entries. Now, you may have seen these rolled up scrolls in your playthroughs. They spawn by campfires and can give you 1 out of 8 pages of a journal, some only available in certain regions of the mountain. Now, surely that doesn't sound too bad, right? Surely, with how much I've played, I've already gotten like 6 out of 8 pages, right? Surely the devs made sure a journal spawns on every fucking map! Now, originally I had written an entire spiel here about this achievement, about how stupid it was that a page can't spawn on every mountain, how much I hated this achievement, but thankfully, I got lucky. I got really lucky. The next day, after writing the original tangent, the mountain didn't just spawn a journal page, it spawned in the shore, the earliest you can get it. This gave me an enormous amount of accessibility, as I could open the journal page in whatever region I needed to in order to get the pages I needed. Not only that, but the mountain today was extremely easy. Or maybe I've just played so much time my skills have improved. Either way, I got to work on this last achievement, climbing up multiple times to get the page at the shore, then getting to where I needed to be, quitting and repeating until I got all the pages I needed. Thankfully, it seems you can't get repeat pages until you've gotten every page in that region at least once, or maybe I just got incredibly lucky. It doesn't matter though, as it's time to finally finish peak 100%. Getting the last page in the caldera, we finally earn our last achievement, the Bookworm badge.
Please, I am in the caldera, man. I am in the caldera. Please, please. Yes! Yes! Oh, let's go.
After all of this, I just want to say thank you for watching this. This has been my biggest project yet, so if you watched till this point, thank you so much. I apologize if the pacing was off or some of the editing was off, but I really did push myself too hard at some points to get this video out. This really was a lot harder than I was expecting it to be originally, but I'm glad I did this in the end, as I overall had quite a nice experience with this. Again, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Peace.